Alright, right now the robot just glides toward the alien. Let's try and make it look a little more like it's walking. Now I'm going to make this look easier than it really is because I'm taking it out of the textbook. If you do anything new, you'll have to experiment with the immediate execution technique and undo to get the movements correct. I'm just going to show you the mechanics here. Okay, let's move the robot's legs while it walks. For starters, again taking this out of the textbook, let's open up the robot and see what it's made out of. It's got a body and a neck. We open up the body and we see some body parts, and what we're going to do is from the back left leg base, we're going to select the back left upper leg joint, and we'll cause it to turn forward, and we'll choose the amount here on our keypad. We'll make it 0.1 revolution. Okay, now we want the leg to move back again, and I'll show you a trick for doing this sort of thing. Rather than going through the menus again, we'll just take this command, make a copy of it, and then turn the direction backward. So now the leg should move forward and back. Let's play that and see what we have. Okay, now that's not quite right. The robot moved and then the leg moved. That's not very realistic. What we need to do is use the do together clause to make these things happen at the same time. So we'll stick that into the code here and put these commands inside. Alright, let's try again. Well, this time the leg didn't move at all. What happened? What it did was try to execute all these commands at the same time, and the robot moved forward okay, but these commands are contradictory, so they canceled each other out. So we need another clause here, which is to put a do in order clause and put the leg movement commands in here. Now what will happen is that at the same time the robot will move and these commands will be done in sequence. Let's look at that. Okay, that was a little bit better. The movements were still not coordinated, so let's try to fix that. First of all, to give ourselves more room and less confusion, let's stick another do in order clause in here and move our other commands into it. Now we can hide this loop and we can see what we're doing a little more clearly. And while we're at it, because I know what's coming, I'm going to make a little more room here. Alright, notice that I think I did this earlier and forgot to undo it. We have a duration of 1 second for the robot movement. We didn't have that before. So that's something we can access with the more command. So we could set this to something else, but we've set it for 1 second. And I can set the duration for these commands. Since there are 2 of them, let's take the duration to be ½ a second for each so that it will match up. Now let's look at how that looks. Okay, so now the leg movement took the same amount of time as the robot's forward movement. Now let's make another leg move at the same time. And instead of going through the whole process again, we can use the copying trick that I showed you before. So we'll make a copy of this and we'll change the part that's moving. So again, let me make a little more space here so you can see what I'm going to do. And instead of back left, let's choose forward right. So spider robot, body, and you're not going to be able to see this, but you'll see the result. And so we'll use front right upper joint. There we go. And let's take another shortcut. Instead of changing the object, let's discard this command, throw it in the trash. Now, like we did before, let's copy this command. And now we have the same part, and we'll just change the direction. Okay, that was a lot of fancy footwork. I hope you followed all that. Let's play it and see the result. So now we have the robot and its legs moving simultaneously. Before we finish, I want to show you a little trick I forgot to show you earlier. The alien starts out hidden behind the rock, and another way to look at an object that's hidden or not sufficiently visible is to select the object in the list here, right click and choose Camera Get a Good Look at This, and the camera will zoom in so that you can see the object better. I'm not sure exactly what rules the camera follows, but most of the time it works well enough. So there you have it. So let's go back to our original position. Now the book says that we should next have the robot turn to face the camera and have its head turn red to signal danger, and then say, "Houston, we have a problem." First of all, let's make some space for ourselves by closing up this loop. Select the robot, and we'll say turn to face, and this makes it face a particular object. And this time we'll choose the camera. And let's see how that works. Okay, that was a little abrupt, so let's put in a dramatic pause here. And for that we have this wait command down here, which is a global command that doesn't apply to any object, just puts in a wait. Let's put in a 1 second wait. Let's try that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we have to find the robot's head. So we'll open up the robot structure here. You can see that the head is part of the neck. So we'll select that. And the color is not really an action, it's a property. So if we look at properties, we can see what they are, and we can drag these commands to set properties. Now right now the head has no color. It's actually, what we see is determined by this thing called the skin texture. But let's go ahead and set the color anyway. Oops, we want to make it a command, or a part of the program rather. So we'll put that in there, set the color to red. And unfortunately the red's not going to show up on account of the conflicting skin texture. So in order to make that visible, we'll give it a lighter texture. We'll choose the texture of the ground, just because that's available. So that should do the trick. And now let's go back and select the robot. Go back to methods. Have it say something. And let's see how that looks. Well, there you have it. Go out and have some fun now.